Welcome to the Upshot, Multi-World Disc Golf's podcast about the latest in the disc golf world. I'm Charlie Eisenhood, and joining me is Josh Mansfield on this Tuesday, April 15th. It's tax day. Let that be your friendly reminder that if you haven't done it, you should at least file for an extension. Josh, I think you and I are on the same page here. I did this so long ago, I don't remember when I did it.
That's so true. People who wait till tax day to do their taxes are just like, they're a whole nother animal. I could not imagine the stress that must accompany the fact that, like, because, you know, I started doing my taxes. It's like, oh, I forgot this receipt. Oh, I need to go grab this real quick. Oh, I didn't have this paper. Okay, I'll go grab it real quick. Like, and I'm not in a worry. It's fine. But I could not imagine doing your taxes today.
Many do. I wonder what percentage of people do them on the 15th. But based on the amount of advertising I've seen for tax software and like tax companies in the last week on like streaming platforms, it's got to be a lot. it's got to be a lot. Anyway, we got so much to get to today. We got so much great mail this week. Like almost 70 comments on our last show on YouTube. Much to discuss. So we're going to dig in. Programming note. Today is Tuesday. Normally we would have our second show Thursday, but rescheduled match play is happening. So what we're going to do is we're going to run it back from what we were trying to do last time, which is this will be our only main show this week. And then for Inside the Circle, we will have a subscriber bonus live show following match play on Thursday at the Kansas City Wide Open. And then we will have our regular reacts on Sunday following the Kansas City Wide Open. So great day to get yourself a subscription. Lock it in. I think if you hurry, you still have a chance to get in before prices go up. Today's the day, but I don't know what time they will actually click into place. So try to get under the gun. And
anyone who waited till today to sign up for the subscription are also probably doing their taxes today.
I think of it as a tax write-off if you pay more. All right, so that means that we will be previewing the Kansas City Wide Open today. We'll take a look at the matchups for match play. I think it's going to be many of the same matchups we already had scheduled, so we might not go deep on that, but we'll just kind of talk over those. I will be back in the booth this weekend. I'll be doing match play and Kansas City Wide Open alongside Brian Earhart for the weekend and Dixon Jowers on the ground in Kansas City. So that should be fun over on DGN. Josh, before we dig into just straight mailbag and get into the preview and stuff, big breaking news. Kristen Lätt has dropped a merch line. Okay, so this got teased last week maybe, and it was like, it's coming. So I was like, because let's be honest, Kristen is definitely one of the best dressed pros.
So I want to, yes, you are right. Here's the thing, Charlie. You're making a joke here about big breaking news. People have asked Kristen before and often about like getting her clothes.
It's true.
And she's always said that it's like some boutique shop in Estonia that custom makes it for her and that nobody else can buy it. So like, I think there are actually going to be some people who are pretty hype about this. This was not possible. Like, it's not even a case of like, oh, you're not getting, Kristen branded stuff. It was like, no, you could not buy the dress that Kristen wears because it was custom made for her.
Yeah, the company that makes the clothes is called iCourt. It's like a very stylish European sportswear brand. They do like tennis clothes, paddle. If they played pickleball in Europe, I suppose they'd have that too. So I think she's basically been getting them to make her custom stuff, and now she's selling it on her website. So let's take a look. What do we got from Kristen? There's a few things. She's got a dress. She's got like a top and a skirt combo. Some of the stuff you've seen her wearing, like straight up. A couple of like men's shirts, like a t-shirt and a polo. And honestly, all looks great. And then I saw the price tag, Josh, and I was like, whoa. The dress, 159 euros. Okay, like it's a dress, right? I mean,
I don't really know how much like a golf dress would typically
I don't
run
know
you.
either.
So, but like I also agree that one's like It's expensive, but like I guess I could see it.
Short sleeve women's top, like quarter zip, 89 euros. So yeah, that's pricey. To me, it's where they lose me is the men's polo is 109 euros.
That loses you over the t-shirt?
70 for the t-shirt. I don't know. The polo is still just a t-shirt, Josh. It just has a zipper on it.
I mean, I hear you, but golf polos, like if you go to a golf website and like go look for a golf polo, I don't buy these polos, but like you can see golf polos running $75, $65. But anyone who tries to charge $70 for an athletic dry fit t-shirt, like it's kind of criminal. I'm not gonna lie.
Get that money. I mean, I'm not sure who's buying this stuff, but somebody's buying it, right?
Okay, somebody. Charlie, I scrolled down a little further.
Oh, there's more stuff down below here. You're right.
Yeah, there's more. It's not like that's the custom clothes. That's the custom clothes. There's other stuff.
The canned socks are sick.
The canned socks.
Oh, we got to put that up on the YouTube. That's amazing.
It looks like a tuna can, and it's got a pair of socks in them.
24 euros.
How many socks do you get or how many cans, do you get for 24 euros? Do you think?
That's a sick stocking stuffer for the disc golfer in your life. Honestly, some of this stuff, like, I don't know, like the tote bag is cool and it's 13 euro.
Oh, it's
like
cool
her
stuff.
Those scrunchy, like, is pretty cool. She's got some cool, like, the Heron mini marker, 15 euro. Like, it's not crazy.
No, not at all.
She got like KT stuff on sale, so you could get yourself some legacy KT gear. Good for her. Good for her.
Yeah. Here's the other thing that's crazy, Charlie. I scrolled to the first off. Ain't no other pro website like this. Like, holy smokes! I mean, this website looks like a shopping website. I mean, it looks great. And then you go to the bottom. I just never thought I'd see this on a disc golf page, Charlie. Porsche, PAF, Nike, New Way.
I know.
Eden Spa and Hotel,
it,
Team
dude.
Estonia, Air Baltic. Like,
killing it.
What a list of sponsorships.
Killing it. The Masters was this past weekend, and God, I just love this tournament so much. As I've said before many times, I'm a complete golf casual. I basically watch the Masters, and that's probably it for the year. I might get involved in another major or two, depending on if like there's a very compelling storyline or it's super close or something. But the Masters, I get the app, I get the TV app. I'm locked in. I'm watching the Amen Corner from the jump. And Josh, it was an unbelievable tournament this year.
It was so good.
Like, so for those who are like not really involved, Rory McIlroy, one of the great golfers of a generation, has never been able to win the Masters, and he's trying to complete the career Grand Slam.
It was his 11th attempt.
He kind of had a mediocre round one, right? Pretty bad round one, and then amazing round two. Mm-hmm. And so he's like, at the turn in the final round, he's in great shape. Like, he's got a 3 or 4 stroke lead. Bryson DeChambeau totally blows up.
Melted.
Total melt. And it's looking fantastic. And then he shoots one of the worst shots you will ever see from a professional disc golfer and just puts it in the water.
Professional disc golfer.
Sorry. Old habits. He puts it in the water on a simple chip shot. I mean, Josh, let me just ask you. I'm not a big golfer. I've played, but I haven't played in probably 10 years. That's a shot you could make, right?
Oh, I mean, there's a chance I'd have put that in the water too. No,
but you could make that shot.
I could make.
He's one of the best players on the planet Earth.
Don't let anybody come at me. I'm not. This is Charlie. Do not come at me for this. I saw a side note, Charlie. I saw a clip. A guy who I don't remember who it was. He said if you were to put an 18 handicap golfer, which means that person's still breaking 90, right? Like pretty
on
good.
an average course, yeah.
On an average course, yeah. He estimates that golfer would shoot 175
oh my God.
in a round. Yeah.
I think
he says
people
there
don't
are
realize
holes
how
out there.
hard the Augusta is, yeah.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Yeah. So I'm not going to take that claim, but like here's the equivalent is like you could take any pro who has a tour card on the Disc Golf Pro Tour and like have an upshot, like a standard routine upshot. And look, could Rory have hit it and been out of position on the green? Sure, right? Maybe he's not as close as he'd like to be, but putting it in the water was shocking. I think the commentator called it the worst the worst golf swing of Rory's career. But that's how bad it was.
Moments later, Josh, he hits one of the greatest shots you'll ever see.
It was spectacular.
I don't even really understand like how that shot is made. So he's like out of position on the left side of the fairway, trees blocking his ideal line. So he has to hook it out and around and over water.
Yeah.
And he puts it to like 7 feet.
It was
insane.
Yeah.
And then he missed a million putts. He has a bunny on 18 and he misses it. And they go to a playoff because Justin Rose had a great day. And then he ends up winning it in the playoff. It was like he was making like amazing hero shots and then some of the worst blunders you'll ever see. You know, it does feel like some of the players we see in disc golf, right? When the pressure is really maximized, that they struggle to execute. I mean, it feels like it's going to feel this way when Calvin wins a major, right?
Sure.
Like, especially if he wins a big one. If he wins the Worlds or USDGC, it's going to be just like the catharsis for him and for all his fans who are just desperate for him to finally win one. This is a little different. Obviously, Rory's had a ton of success, but you know, this is the one that's been eluding him.
Yeah. Justin Rose, the guy who he went to a playoff with, also is looking for his first Masters. He went to a playoff back in 2017 and lost. And he was on record watch in round one. So Justin Rose has a fantastic round one.
He's known to shoot amazing round ones here.
Yes, bogey's the 18th, and if he had birdied it, he would have tied the record at 63. Then he has like very mid round twos and threes, and he starts like 7 strokes back of Rory, I think.
Yeah, what a rundown.
On the day. Yeah, and like runs Rory down from the third or fourth card 7 strokes back in order to get into the playoff. It was, and Rory missed 5-footer to win on the 18th,
along with missing the eagle putt earlier. Like he got a bogey with a missed putt right before that.
I seriously was beginning to wonder if there's something in the water that makes it so Europeans can't putt. Disc golf doesn't matter. Like,
okay.
I saw last thing I want to say though, and then we can. I think I know what you want to talk about. I saw a podcast I want to give the context for the Rory thing. Saw a podcast. Lady calls in. She goes, "My husband, when we got married 2 years ago, didn't cry. My dad, sobbing through his speech at our wedding, most emotional thing, didn't cry. Birth of our child, not a tear. That man was openly weeping when Rory won the Masters." And the podcaster goes, "Well, see, here's the thing. So Rory," and she goes, "No.
Here's the thing.
He explained that all to me. That's not the point." It was emotional when Rory won.
God.
I mean, he was, yeah, it was crazy.
We got some great Masters takes, including on that moment, and we'll get to that in 1 second. I just quickly want to have an aside. Golf versus disc golf. There's just a level of drama that golf has that I don't think disc golf can quite find. I think it's genuinely not possible.
I agree.
Because I think disc golf's just simply easier. And every element of disc golf is easier. Like,
yes.
200-foot approaches in golf, like, if you put it to 5 feet, it's an amazing shot. In disc golf, it's routine.
Yeah.
The putting surface, like, putting is just 1,000 times more difficult and more interesting as a result than in disc golf, which kind of makes me wonder, like, would it be better if it was harder to putt? Like, I hate to go back to the smaller basket conversation, but it just, to me, like, it's just too easy right now. I don't know. Like, maybe we just accept this is what it is. And like,
sure.
I just think that we need to do a lot to enhance the difficulty of disc golf to make it more interesting.
Yep.
Like, and I don't mind watching these birdie fest courses, and it's probably just a part of the sport that we're going to have a lot of, birdie fest situations. But Eagles crossing this week, watching that coverage, seeing people struggling, 5 under is an amazing round. Like maybe we just need more like that. And we'll talk Eagles crossing in a sec, but go ahead. You have something to say.
Yeah. Here's the problem. And I've said this before. I don't agree with the smaller baskets. What makes golf putting dramatic is the time it takes for the ball to roll to the hole, right? It's after they hit it and you're like, it's on that 18th hole, watching Rory roll that putt and wondering, like, is it online? Seeing it looks a little left. Does it have the chance to drop? No, it doesn't. And it's passed. Right. That dramatic buildup after the putt has been hit is something that disc golf cannot replicate.
It's mostly impossible
easily.
Except from like 70 plus feet.
Here's my answer. You don't need smaller baskets. You need more difficult greens.
Yeah. Okay. I'm with you.
You need more greens that have so much woods and crap that it stops players at edge of circle 2 to mid circle 2. And here's why that's so incredible. Number one, it requires them to shape putts, which is so exciting to watch. It also, when you shape putts, will oftentimes take pace off putts because it's going a little bit higher, loftier, and they're trying to, like, especially when they're putting some ante on it, you're not just straight spinning it at the basket when you've got this, big 60 foot ante putt that you kind of want to stall a little bit. So when you have difficult greens that you have to shape around obstacles that keep players further back from the basket, then that's how you get framed putts that go through the narrowest of gaps, where players, then you get the replay of them like leaning back in slow-mo, watching if it's going to go in, the shaping of putts. That's the closest thing that we can get in disc golf, is a big circle 2 putt that's shaped around obstacles. And so I think you just need more guarded greens. You need difficult, very guarded greens. So like only perfect shots are getting through.
We accept that physical objects are what we need to make driving challenging.
Yep.
We need gaps. We need mandos. We need, like, this is what it is.
Yes.
Because we can shape the shot in the air way more than a golfer can hit a golf ball. Now, like, yes, I know they can shape the shot, but like not nearly to the extent that you can with a Frisbee.
It's what disc golf has going for it.
And it's what makes it great.
Yes.
But why is it then that we have completely abandoned this concept on the green? Because most greens, it's just like the
wide
circle
open.
is completely unencumbered.
So is circle 2 in a lot of cases.
Right. I mean, sometimes you're just slapping a basket out in the middle of a field. I mean, that's
Get
50% of Pro Tour greens, right?
Yeah. I mean, this weekend is going to be case in point.
So I genuinely think, like, I accept your premise. Don't shrink the basket, make the greens harder. And I think it means that, like, we need baskets that are like on a plateau and it's death off the edge.
Great.
Right?
Love it.
Where, like, if you don't land in the right spot on the green, you're in a bad situation. Just like on a golf green. You need, I want more like brutal hill baskets. Like when Kevin Jones got cooked by that
hole
Portland
13
course.
at Worlds.
I mean, no, but
little too far.
It's in the realm of what we want. The problem with that hole was that there was no landing zone.
Right.
It was just
you couldn't make decisions.
Throw a prayer over there and like get horribly unlucky. If it was on a little plateau that had a little built-out area that you could actually throw to, now we're talking.
That would be interesting. Yeah.
Right? So I basically agree, and I think having physical trees like completely blocking one side of the basket from available putts or making it quite difficult, totally fine. The most exciting putts we get are when someone snakes through tree on ante and it sinks it. How about that one from Simon on the 18th at whatever that tournament was? What was that tournament? Not Waco, Austin. Right? Yeah. What?
I don't know which one.
What tournament did I commentate most recently? I don't even. I like my brain is
Music
cooked.
City.
Music City. Thank you.
Oh,
I don't know why I couldn't say it. Music City 18th when he, huge bender, amazing.
Yes.
And like, sure, does it mean that you have a lot more layups from over there? Yes, but it makes the good putts from there very interesting.
Right, and to that point, like, how many golf putts are also just like they missed to 6 inches and they're tapping in all the time, right?
Most of the time.
That's fine. But it gives you some really exciting putts that
right.
I think we want more
right.
of.
Okay. Masters takes. Spencer in the YouTube comments said, been thinking a lot recently about the Masters and USDGC. I think one thing that could truly help elevate it is next level landscaping. I think that's pretty much what we were talking about, Josh.
Yeah.
5-string Haas commented below that and said, Eagles Crossing is already at that level of landscaping. I think the Pro Tour needs to have this course on tour every year. Let's talk about Eagles Crossing. Did you take a look at some of the coverage?
Nope. I was watching the Masters.
That's fair.
I won't lie to you.
That's fine.
I was watching the Masters all week.
You've seen Eagles Crossing though. You're aware.
I have seen Eagles Crossing. Yes, I've watched coverage in the past.
I watched the final round.
Okay.
Anthony Barella got the win.
Yep. I was watching scores. I will say that
he won some amount of money. There's no way to know how much money it was because they're not a PGA sanctioned event, so there's no page where you can see how much money he won.
And we looked everywhere. I looked at the UDisc. Find it.
It's not there, so I don't know how much money he won. But they had a big purse, so presumably he won a bunch of money. I understand why people are calling for this tournament to be on the Pro Tour. Mm-hmm. It's not the right time of year for this course. It's a little sad looking with all the trees completely bare. But I can imagine it at its full best foliage. And I think it would be fantastic. I mean, it's definitely a very challenging course, highly demanding shots, every single shot, and just genuinely an interesting course. I don't think it's like the best course on planet Earth. I don't think that it's like somehow devastating that it's not on tour, but it is better than a lot of the courses that we're playing on tour right now. And I feel like they really should try to see if they can make it work out. I've heard various reasons why they're not there. I've heard that cell service is bad. I've heard that the owner of the course, who's a very eccentric person, won't allow signage on the property for like advertising and stuff.
Like advertising.
Because, this is, untouchable property. I mean, to me, if you can solve the coverage issue, which is genuinely a reasonable concern, you can figure it out. You make it a special event and all the advertising is broadcast only and you don't get to do on-course stuff. Now, the owner may also need to give on some things. You can't just have nothing out there. There needs to be crowd control and there needs to be some things on the course. But, it's kind of like how the Masters calls the shots about how the course is decorated and what is out there. And I think there's some weird stuff going on with Eagles Crossing, but I also think it's a genuinely excellent course for a pro level event.
To that point, I think as well though that it's important if the reason that the Masters gets the opportunity and right to dictate the way that they do, and I'm not even going to go into the history of it, right? Because sure, you got to start somewhere, right? I hear that argument. The Masters makes a lot of money for everybody involved, regardless of whether or not there's the traditional, approach to it as compared to other golf tournaments. And so if you are the owner of Eagles Crossing and it is an advertising issue, again, I don't know exactly, but if that is part of it, you're gonna have to make it a worth the money of the PDGA or the DGPT to do this, because that's the reason the Masters gets to dictate their terms is just because of the money involved.
Yeah, and unfortunately, sorry, Eagles Crossing, putting Masters in your name, making Luke and Big Germ wear red jackets, and make the caddies wear white Masters bibs ain't gonna make you the Masters.
Did not.
Sorry,
was not it.
I'm sorry, it's not.
I just, it's it was so close. I think one thing, you do one thing and it's a joke. It's funny, right? If Big Germ, and they show up wearing red jackets and they're like, it honors a Masters weekend and they have that, but the name, the bibs, the jackets. It was just a little too far. It was too far to be funny, I think. Like they tried a little bit too hard.
It was a little try hard.
It was.
Daniel in the comments on YouTube said, instead of hay bales, why not just go ahead and build a nice looking brick wall around the green of 17 at USDGC to complement the university aesthetics?
I like
someone
it. Else mentioned using like a Civil War era fence, like kind of like those.
I saw that.
Did you see that?
I don't know if I like.
I don't think that matches quite as
well.
I
like brick wall better than Civil War iconography.
Yeeting your discs into a brick wall at 17.
Brutal skips into the water.
Missing the island has a whole new sense of consequences now. Oh man.
Here's a question. Do you think they should have a modular green that changes in size day to day along with the basket changes?
At USDGC?
Yeah. Like you could make it smaller for some rounds or bigger.
Probably not. I think the green is actually really nicely shaped right now.
Yeah.
And the moving of the basket is perfect.
I think they should move the basket every round.
Do they not?
They do it every 2 rounds. They have 2 locations. They do like front left basically and then kind of like middle right.
See, I would like front left round 1 and round 4 and the easy position in round 2, round 3.
Well, so I'm asking for 4 different pin locations. You go like back left by the water, front
You're
left,
a monster.
Middle right, and then like back right.
You want it next to the water?
Yes.
On the short side of the green?
Yes. Make it hard.
Charlie, it's already incredibly difficult. Like
I want pain
easy.
and suffering, Josh.
Oh my God.
Listen. I can accept that they can think about what the best locations are, but they could move it every round. I want more pin position changes.
Listen, I am also a fan of more pin positions. I think that one is tuned just well enough with the 2 that I quite like where it's at. But I want every other hole at USDGC to have 2 pin locations.
Yeah.
Right?
That's there's plenty of holes where they could move the pin locations and change the hole slightly. Like you think about the 7th where you're going through the bamboo wall. Mm-hmm. You could move the basket like to the right by 15 feet. Mm-hmm. And then it's like a little forehand shot. And like it takes away the ace run, so I can get that maybe you wouldn't want to do that for every round, but I just feel like there's opportunities to like do little things that change the holes and make it interesting. It's a very interesting part of watching golf tournament where they put the hole.
It is. It absolutely is.
One more thing from the YouTube, and then we'll get into our mailbag from the actual inbox. Sam said, I was raised a big golf guy until I discovered disc golf, and I don't think disc golf needs to try to replicate golf. It doesn't add anything to disc golf. If anything, it detracts from the charm and unique factor. USDGC has its own special disc golf feel, and the property has kind of reached the pinnacle of what it can offer. If you really wanted to make a disc golf Masters, you should just make Maple Hill a major. It has iconic holes like Augusta. In fact, it's probably the only course I can remember every hole on. It's the prettiest course stateside, in my opinion, and it highlights the biggest advantage disc golf has over golf, which is the woods. Champions Cup could have been held at Maple Hill every year, and in 30 years of tradition and improvements, it would be a prestigious tournament.
Fair take.
Agreed.
Yeah, I don't hate it at all. Here's what I think is important though. I agree that disc golf doesn't need to replicate golf, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't learn lessons about how we can make a consumer product that like develops and can create the kind of pull, not create the, but like just increase our profile, right? To increase the the anticipation of putts and like there are lessons we can learn from golf, but I think there's lessons we can learn from every sport. And we've done a show, you can go back and look for it. We've done a show, what are things that we wish disc golf would steal from every sport? And so agreed, it does not need to replicate, and I think it would be a mistake to try too hard. But we definitely should learn our lessons from what is considered one of the best sporting events in the world.
100%. Take the best stuff that we can and think about how it should fits into our sport. All right, Josh, mailbag. Let's go.
Okay. Speaking of how it fits into our sport, another thought here on the Masters. This is from Isaac. A quick thought on this year's Masters. The silence from the booth after McIlroy missed putt on the 18th hole was gut-wrenching yet captivating. Had the commentator spoken, I might have thrown the remote at the TV. Unlike the usual immediate groans or gasp, or oh my goodness, that follows most of these moments, the complete silence and hearing almost nothing spoke more than any words. It perfectly captured the weight of the moment. I mean, this was a 4-time major champion seeking that green jacket, watching another opportunity slip away. Truth be told, there are 1,000 things that you could say that would be fine, but none of them would have captured it better than the silence. We all got to share in the speechless recognition of the magnitude of that moment, communicated through the simple act of saying nothing at all.
Spoken like a golf producer.
It really was.
I mean, I 100% agree. I worry I talk too much when I'm in the booth, and this will be in my mind this weekend if we have. The thing is, it's different at like a Kansas City wide open than it is at a Worlds.
Yes.
And like,
yes,
recognizing that listeners understand the meaning of a putt because you've set it up ahead of time. When they miss it, you don't have to say anything. Everyone understands what it means. So it's a great
moment,
reminder.
Yeah. But to Isaac's point and to your point here, Charlie, that moment cannot exist at Kansas City wide open.
Right. It's not possible.
It's not possible. So we don't need quite the same level of gravitas around a putt ever at Kansas City wide open, but there might be some at Worlds.
Yes.
If Calvin lines up for a putt to win his first world championship and he misses it, like you were, back to your analogy, dead silence is all you need.
And by the way, when Rory won, it was like one or two sentences. I think Nance said Rory has his masterpiece.
Yeah.
And then they didn't say anything basically at all for about 10 minutes. And that's the beauty of having a massive crowd, a massive moment, tears. And I saw a lot of people talking about, this is why we have to wait to do the interview on the course and da-da-da-da. And like, you know what? Yeah, honestly, at Worlds, I agree with you. Mm-hmm. I agree with you. Let's sit back and watch.
The walk?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, let's just enjoy all of that stuff that's happening before we sit down and have the interview. But at the Kansas City wide open, we don't need to do that.
Get an interview. Let's get going.
Let's keep it moving here. But in a way, I agree.
Yeah.
All right. Jeff notes that there was a guy selling food at one of those houses across the street at USDGC last year. Your dream has already been dreamt. Good for that guy.
Good call. Tim back is saying on the theme of Winthrop. The name of the course is Winthrop Gold. They need to focus on the gold. The watches that we brought up should be gold watches. The logo should be a gold W with a clean, that's something clean that nods to disc golf, whether, it's a basket or what have you. There needs to be a graphic that whenever there's a birdie, there's a little gold flash, like a sparkle every time there's a birdie, just like Jomez does with different colors. The wall around 17 shouldn't be hay bales, but solid plastic walls or like a gold brick wall, as we were just talking about.
Yellow brick road vibes.
Maybe a brick wall with like a gold top kind of thing. Okay. Right? I don't know. The flowers y'all were talking about need to be whatever flower is the most gold. I love that Tim is just like accepting he has no clue what flowers are gold. I also don't know, but I love just leaning into that. Then he says it doesn't need to be gaudy or overdone, but we need splashes of gold all over. Or make it look like Goldmember from Austin Powers designed everything. Either way works for me.
Oh my gosh. I think the theme here, I'm not sure I'm in on the all gold everything.
Sure.
But the theme here is that like beautification, landscaping, and like upping the stakes of how pretty the course is a thing that would take this tournament up a level. And I agree.
And I don't hate the idea of like the graphics at least, you know, being gold. And
yeah, no, 100%. Like,
yeah, great.
Let's new logo.
Yeah.
New shine, new broadcast feel that is differentiated.
Yep.
Completely agree.
Completely agree.
All right. Just Mike from the Discord, one of our subscribers, he's got something to get off his chest. We don't have a tour stop where the sport was born. It's been mentioned before, sure, but let it sink in. How crazy is that? That history is not present on tour. Be it Innova, founded in California, DGA, the company created by the inventor of disc golf in Southern California, or someone else, we need someone to step up and deliver at least one championship-level stop in Southern California, if not two. The omission would be glaring enough if we weren't watching Texas in the spring in all its windy, dead plants hideousness, or flooded cow pastures in Tennessee. It's not even wrong.
He's not.
I love Olympus, but imagine if the tour started in the Southwest, no Vegas, lol, where weather is perfect this time of year, then went through Arizona, another former stop of the tour, then the Midwest as we already do this time of year, and get one Texas spot at the best possible location for now, whether that be Harvey Penick or elsewhere. Whether that be finding the right golf course to convert, think Glendevere, or getting creative and investing in making a place like La Mirada work again, it's time the tour starts working on going back to Southern California and getting its events near bigger city centers. No more rained out farmland, please. Josh, your thoughts?
Listen, Mike, you're preaching to the choir over here. We don't disagree in the slightest. It needs to happen. And this goes back, you know, we haven't really talked too much about the history element, but we have mentioned the fact that like disc golf, in order to continue to thrive, needs to get near population centers, and putting it in SoCal is a could be a big step in terms of creating a really, really, really big hype tournament. So yeah, no arguments from us. That's for sure.
So look, I basically agree. I think the problem is finding the course. I'm not sure that Southern California has the course. La Mirada, but it's like a public park. Can you close it? Is it a good enough course for the top professionals at this point? It has old school vibes, but like, I just don't know if those old school courses can really hold up to a Pro Tour event is the problem. Like De La is pretty sick, but that's not Southern California. That's in Santa Cruz. And I wouldn't have a problem with them bringing back Masters Cup and playing De La again. I think that'd be a super fun course to have a stop at. But Southern Cali, I don't know. I don't know where you play.
Yeah.
Unless you want to play some sort of wacky putter only type tournament.
But that's not what Mike's looking for.
I don't think so.
You know, and Mike is definitely Mike, like, you're preaching to the choir over here, Mike. Like, we hear you. We agree. We want this. But to your point, like, I played La Mirada, Charlie. It's a ton of fun. It's a blast. I am trying to think about it. And I mean, if you completely closed the entire park and gave them free reign to make a safari layout, because there's two courses there.
Right.
There's two 18-hole courses. So you make a safari and kind of like build a pro course on there. Maybe, but that just seems like a level of logistics that does not typically go well. I mean, think back to,
but this is where I want them to like get serious about it and come to, whatever county that course is in and say, hey, we're going to bring this many thousand people here, this many hotel nights. All we're asking for is to close this park for, 3 days, once a year to public access in order to host this big event. Like, there's some amount of money probably that would get that done.
Probably. But I mean, I agree with Mike. I love SoCal. And it's just a question of where.
Yeah. I mean, there's some classic old courses, right? Is Shady Oaks, is that in LA?
It is.
But again, like, I just don't think that's going to be suitable for the pros.
It is not it. I think that's the first course ever put in.
Is that the one?
I think that's the one. I played that one as well when I was in LA.
No, I thought it was the one that he just mentioned in the email. What was it? Oh no, he said, like, think Glendevere.
Yeah, that's in Portland, Charlie.
No, I know that. But I thought it was something that started with a G. First disc golf course ever. I'm Googling it. I should really know this. Oak Grove. I knew it had a G.
Oak Grove. Okay. I was close. Okay, so I don't know anything about Shady Oak. I played Oak Grove.
Gotver. That's not it.
Don't come at me.
That's
they
way
both
too
have Oak.
That's way too short, right? What about Morley?
I've never played Morley.
Oh, it's super, super, super fun. I mean, it would be completely shredded, but I think you could probably design a pro layout there by putting baskets in different spots than are the typical basket locations. Even if you just threw down temps. A Morley tournament would be really sick. Okay. I mean, it is like a designated, it's like the most popular disc golf course on the earth. Built in 1977. And like have all the facilities that you would need. Has plenty of spectator space. I feel like they could make it work.
Sure.
And it's just like you could have some like fun short par threes, and you could stretch some stuff out with like safari type layout. And there's some really cool shots out there already. I would love to watch that. I think, and you know how many people would show up to that tournament?
Oh, so many.
Be packed out there.
It would be packed.
So I'm with just Mike on this.
Yeah, I think we both are. That's for sure. All right, last email here, Charlie.
Okay.
Scott wrote in, subject line: "It happens in golf too." Max Homa is punching out after being out of position and smacks a Marshall just like right in the butt with a golf ball. And you hear somebody was like on this video go, "Come on, dude."
He's just
yelling at this Marshall,
standing with the flag in the middle of the fairway. And then he walks away. I don't really think it affected like the outcome of the shot particularly. We'll play the clip here on the YouTube, but like it's not just disc golf, folks. I don't know why that guy was standing in the middle of the fairway though.
There was another clip I saw from the par 3 tournament that they do with like friends and family, or like family members and stuff. Scotty Scheffler's sister hits a shot, and the commentator goes, "Oh, Scotty Scheffler's sister, little fat. The shot, not her. She's quite thin." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, that is something that would happen in disc golf as well. Little fat. Oh, not her. The shot.
Oh man, good stuff. Well, always email us anytime you want. Upshot@ultiworld.com. Great stuff from everybody this week. We're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get you ready for the Kansas City Wide Open. And we're going to make our picks. I got to step up. I've been getting my ass kicked by Josh and the subscribers. So head over to discgolf.ultiworld.com/upshot-picks to check out the leaderboard. And we'll be right back with Kansas City Wide Open preview. The Upshot is presented by Pound Disc Golf, makers of the best bags in the sport. Well, you've probably heard me talking about the fact that they've got a brand new redesigned Octothorpe and Octahall. I want to show you one more time, while you can still pre-order, what's new about the Octo right now in 2025 and why it is the best disc golf bag that's ever been built. Take a look at some of the key highlights and the adjustments to this already iconic bag.
The only difference between the Octohull and the Octothorpe now are the compression straps. The compression straps are nice for people that want to go either so low profile or have so much stuff that you get a little bit of extra sort of compression and load carriage there. I want to address the putter pocket because I know we've gotten a lot of comments from people that are concerned about it being like the Rufus. This is definitely much different than the Rufus putter pocket. This pocket holds 5 putters just like the original Octo pocket, and I much prefer it, honestly.
Welcome back to the Upshot. So we've got the Kansas City Wide Open coming up this weekend, and to get you ready for the action, maybe get you used to the course, you can tune in Thursday for the first set of match play matchups. So Music City Open, match play got canceled due to weather, and so they're playing about half the matches here at the Kansas City Wide Open. They're going to have to find a time to play the other ones, but there's a lot of European players who are not here. Mm-hmm. They've gone home, or they're at least taking the week off before Champions Cup in a couple of weeks. So they're taking a month-long break before they get to Champions Cup. So here's the matchups, Josh. You ready?
Yep.
We've got Holland versus Ella, Deanne Carey versus Allie Smith, Owen Scoggins versus Kat Murch, and Ellie Mittling versus Katrina Allen. And over on the MPO side, we've got Gannon versus AB, Chris Dickerson versus Luke Humphreys, Ricky versus Paul, and Matty O versus Ezra Aderhold.
Should be a good time. I mean, I still am excited to watch these. I love the format of this. I think it's so much better than the past match play attempts. Going with the series over, qualifying for the finale. I love that. I also like that it's on this new course, right? This course that hasn't been on tour in a while, because it's another kind of opportunity to get an eye on it before we get into actual competition, which I think, again, a nice touch as well.
Broadcast starts 10:30 a.m. Eastern time on Thursday. So, yeah, it should be fun. We get a bunch of the heavy hitter ones that we were talking about. If you want to go back and listen to our preview of the Music City Open, we go through these. Basically, these are the same matchups that we had for that event. So, like Holland versus Ella, Gannon versus AB, Ricky versus Paul. It's great stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
You got to be fired up for that.
Yeah, it is.
All right, so let's talk about Kansas City Wide Open. This is the first time this tournament is really on tour. Mm-hmm. I think it was probably an NT at some point. I actually need to double check some of the history of this event because it has a very long history as a tournament. Mm-hmm. And it's been a silver series, and it was a DGPT qualifying Q series event last year, but this is the first time it's on tour. And it's essentially, let's be honest, taking the spot of DDO. So they bailed on Emporia, and they said, we're going to play here at Bad Rock Creek in Kansas City. And, Josh, it is a massive upgrade over Emporia.
So much of an upgrade.
If I watched some of the coverage from last year, mm-hmm. Ricky also has a practice round out now that you can go check out. And the tournament opens up with... It's got to be one of the most interesting hole ones on tour if the wind is right.
Yeah.
So it's par 4. I think it's 575 feet for the MPO.
That sounds right. Yep.
Downhill, you can lay up short left, and then there's a water carry to essentially an island green. And you can drive the green in the right wind conditions, but it's extremely risky. Mm-hmm. But that's just how we get things going, right? There's a bunch of water on this course. I'm going to miss Emporia 16, but I'm not going to miss much else. This is a much more interesting course. There's, low ceiling shots. There's lots of right to left to right, some big horseshoe type holes, plenty of woods and gap hitting, but also some open shots and a couple of bomber holes. Much more technical, more like Waco than, Pennock.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I'm excited to watch the top pros play this course.
It should be interesting. I will want to temper just a little bit the hype, because I don't think this is about to become anybody's favorite course. I saw the first horseshoe and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I saw 3 more and I was like, okay. I'm always hesitant about horseshoes, because if you're not in ideal position, like, it oftentimes means players are laying up to ideal positions. And then, so like, if you miss your first shot, you just lose a lot of the risk reward, I think, in terms of decision making. And that's always been a concern of mine when it comes to these kind of very sharp corners. And so, and there's some par 3s that are, they look a little straightforward. They feel a little, hole 6 at Box Run esque, and just real gimmies for this level of pros. But all in all, I agree, Charlie. I think that there are some really interesting lines. There are some unique holes, and we really do go from woods that are as thick as Idlewild with trees, in the fairway, to some open layouts that does feel more, Fox Run-esque. And so definitely is going to be an interesting one to watch. I agree. I have not thought once about Emporia until you just brought it up. After they announced it was off tour, I have not thought about it at all.
So I will note, pretty interesting scoring spread on a lot of these holes, looking back at UDisc from the 2023 Silver event, which is a little better attended with stronger players than the Q Series last year. Some like cut some eagleable holes. There are some easy holes. Hole 2, 64% birdie rate, but also coming in with, about 20% bogey or worse. And it's because it's, you got to hit the island basically. Right. But like a lot of the holes are very gettable. Pretty much every hole is gettable. And there's a couple of eagleable options, like 18 that you could get an eagle. It's a difficult eagle, but it's there. And most of these holes are averaging between like 3/4 of a stroke under par to half a stroke over par. So it's very fair. You can get some bad tree kicks like on any wooded type course, but it's a lot of hitting landing zones and opening up the best shot for the second on par 4s. The par 3s, I agree, are like less interesting.
Yeah. There's a couple that are in the woods that I think will be interesting, but some of those open ones are a little lackluster. All in all, though, new course on tour, love it. Love it. I mean, I am so much more willing to give grace to a new course to like give it a shot, as opposed to seeing, the same course again and again and again that we just know is not cutting it. And so even if this course comes out and we're like, this may not have been it. It wasn't great. Like, I still appreciate the fact that we've got a change over
that we're trying
like Emporia. Yeah, let's try it. Agreed. So I hope that the tour continues to do this. I think that the tour is elevated when you get some fresh blood on tour, and definitely happy to have this one here for sure.
You will see some double-digit under par rounds, assuming that conditions are decent. Joey Bucket shot a 13 under in round 1 2 years ago. Gannon Burr, Jake Hebenheimer shot 12s. Kevin Kiefer, Emerson Keith shot 11s. So you can see kind of like a diverse group of players. Over in FPO, Holland Hanley shot a 4 down in round 3. Tougher conditions in round 2. Even par was the best round. And Allie Smith shot a 3 under in round number 1. Allie Smith, of course, from Kansas City. So kind of a local course for Allie. Will be really interesting to see if she can go out and cook on this course. If she can, put the putter in the basket. I mean, that's a big question for her, right?
Yeah. The other thing, weather this weekend looks like chance of rain for the FPO round on Friday. Saturday overcast, but looks like we should be okay. Looks like the rain doesn't start until after the round should be over. Sunday is looking like a good likely chance of rain starting around 11ish. And continuing throughout the afternoon. So catching probably the tail end of the FPO round, good part of the MPO round is what we're expecting. No sign of thunderstorms though, so hopefully no delays, but just might not be, the best scoring conditions if that weather prediction holds true.
Yeah, there is a chance of thunderstorms in the forecast on Thursday for match play, so hopefully that doesn't get washed out again. But it should be beautiful on Friday.
Oh, okay. I guess I was looking at the wrong.
Well, it's interesting. I think it's a very unsettled forecast. I'm looking at the National Weather Service.
Okay. The one I was looking at said Thursday was supposed to be beautiful, but Friday was supposed to be rainy.
I also saw that when I just Googled it.
Yeah.
But that's not what the National Weather Service says.
Okay.
So I don't know. Different models saying different things.
Sure.
Probably going to get some rain.
It's going to be
possibly some thunderstorms and probably some nice days too.
Best of all the worlds.
Hey, yeah. Let's go. No Kristen this week.
Yeah.
No Nicholas. A lot of the European players not in the field. And so a little bit of a lighter attended tournament. I've also seen some people, particularly in the Ulti-World Disc Golf Discord, saying like, hey, this kind of sucks. I'm really looking forward to this event. I'm from Kansas City, but Sunday is Easter and I got to go to do church and dinner with my family and I can't go. And so I think we could see crowds look a little light on Sunday. They originally scheduled this tournament Thursday to Saturday on the original schedule release, and then it changed. And I'm guessing that they originally scheduled it that way because of Easter. I wonder if that would have been the best choice in this case.
I guess we'll see. We'll see what spectators look like. I'd forgotten about that, but you're absolutely right. Like, I also have family obligations on Sunday. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure I'll be able to watch some of the coverage for sure, but yeah.
Brian and I are going to wear like bunny ears or something in the booth. I was working Easter last year too. I forget what tournament it was, but, I think for people watching on television, like it can be a nice background thing. Like while you're doing stuff with your fam on Easter, but in person is a little tougher to ask for.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, it should be fun. I'm excited to watch. Like I don't remember a time when we've really seen like all the top players show up and play at
I don't either.
this course. So I'm curious to see who performs well. This is not a big arm type course. So technicality is going to be a big deal. You could see wood specialists pop up the leaderboard here. And I'm excited to see what happens. Should we make our picks?
Let's make our picks.
Okay. I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll start in MPO. I feel like we always start in FPO.
Okay.
First off the top, I got to take Gannon Burr. Gannon Burr won this tournament 2 years ago, and I just feel like the time is ripe for him to finally get on to the winning column again. This is the right kind of course for him to do it on. He played good in round one at Eagles Crossing, then kind of had a not great round two. And that's kind of feels like it's been the story of his season, like an off round derailing his chances. Yep. But keep in mind, he's still playing really well. Can you guess who number one on tour is right now in points?
Is it Gannon Burr?
It's Gannon.
That's crazy. Without a win.
12th, 5th, 3rd, 2nd. He's 4 points ahead of my second pick on my picks this week, Adam Hammes.
Oh.
Hammes is playing amazing right now.
Yeah, he is.
This is the best he's played at this level of consistency in his career.
Yep.
9th, 1st, 6th, 10th. If I had to pick a player of the year right now, I think I'd pick Hammes.
That's probably true.
I would take Nicholas with 2 wins.
Oh, yeah.
I take it back. But
did Nicholas not play an event? How's Nicholas behind or just had a stinker tournament?
45th at SFO is enough to keep him 8 points back of Gannon.
Wow. So we've got 3 players within 8 points at the top of the Pro Tour standings?
Yes.
Wow.
Nicholas 417, Ezra 418, Hammes 421, Gannon 425.
So 4 players.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That is remarkable.
So you've got your winners this season.
Yep. And Gannon.
And then Gannon, who's just been, high level consistency.
Yeah.
So I think this is the one he wins. I'm taking Hammes because I like he's got an elite forehand. It's going to come into very good effect at this tournament. He's also been playing super high level. He played good at Eagles Crossing. And my last spot is a little bit of a wild card. 2x points for Mr. Joey Buckets. Joey Buckets, second place here in 2023. He was only 2 shots back of Gannon, shot a 13 under in the final round, in round 1, excuse me. And I just think this is like a horse for course situation. And honestly, he's been playing a little better than you might think, or than like maybe feels.
Okay.
To be fair, he's only cashed twice, but 15th at SFO, 13th at Music City. Those aren't amazing, but
I mean, they're not points, Charlie.
I hear you. But, you know, he averaged around, looks like maybe 1035 at Music City. And I just like this course fit for him after how he played here 2 years ago.
Okay. All right. And 2x points.
2x points.
2x points. Okay.
I remember Joey Buckets, he wasn't like some big name in 2023.
No, he wasn't. It was 2024. It was
2024 when he had his big
breakout
season.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
That's
fair.
right.
Fair. All right. Well, I also have Gannon Burr. I agree with you here. I think this, like, it really feels like it's just going to be like, it's a matter of, you know, when he's going to like get over the hump and get the win. And so it feels tough to like leave him off the leaderboard right now, given that he's, you know, gotten points for everyone who's picked him, like all but like 1 week. So, yeah, great shape there from Gannon. In my second place, I've got Paul Macbeth. That's another guy that's like, I feel like I just need to keep picking Paul because I don't want the week I don't pick Paul to be the week that he wins. Because I know the second I do, it's going to happen and I'm going to just be so mad. And that's another one that, I mean, I don't know if it's inevitable as feeling as Gannon's is. It's definitely not. But it's kind of feeling a little inevitable that Paul's going to get one right now. And so I just want him on my board. And then my other one is going to be...
I don't blame you. I think Paul is easily pickable right now. He's feels like lockish top 10 right now.
And it's a shorter course. Like the distance isn't as important. It feels almost like a like PCS that he won 2 years ago. Like that feels like it could be the moment here at Kansas City. Last pick. I will
note just really quick.
Yeah, please.
Macbeth has played the Kansas City Wide Open many times. I'm not going to go back and check that they've played on the same course every time.
Sure.
But the last 4 times he's played it, in 2013, 14, 15, and 19, he's won it.
All right. All right. I didn't go that far back in the archive. So, all right. That makes me feel even better. Last pick, I've got Kyle Klein. He's another player who's started off pretty well and I think has not, I mean, he doesn't have a win and he's 8th right now in Pro Tour standings, but he's 8 not playing Music City Open. Has a 2nd, has a 6th, has a 17th. And you know, he plays well. He is one who I think has a good all-around game, and kind of the diversity of this course I think will reward that all-around game more than it's going to reward a specialist of any kind. So Kyle Klein's rounding out my top 3.
Okay. Who are you taking in FPO?
With Kristen gone, it feels like Hall and Hanley is a must pick right now.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine her not finishing in the top 3 right now.
Yeah. She hasn't missed it yet. And especially without the competition of Kristen. I mean, that's just another slot for her to get herself a podium. And so, yeah, if you take Kristen out of the field, which I know, you know, the what if isms, whatever. Take Kristen out of the field. Holland's finishes are 2nd, 1st, 1st, 2nd.
Yep.
The only time she's taken, you know, she's gotten bumped down by Kristen during Kristen's 2 wins and gotten 2nd and 3rd at those times. But otherwise, she doesn't miss the top 2 and has 2 wins if Kristen's not around. And so, no Kristen, Holland has to be on your podium.
She's been by far the 2nd best player.
Yes. Has to be on there. Second pick, Owen Scoggins. Taking advantage. I mean, I don't ever want to disrespect the dog's distance, but when there's a course that doesn't have the distance, you have to pick Owen. And Owen has the capacity to shape shots through these fairways that I think, even though that she hasn't been putting at the level that she typically does, it still is one that is going to work a little bit in her favor because she shapes shots unlike anybody else in terms of the way and style that she does it. And, you know, she's still been good putting. She's 83% from Circle 1, second on tour, 19% Circle 2. That's seventh. And some of these holes, like I was watching the drone flyovers from last year, and some of these holes for the FPO pins are ridiculously short. And so I think that this is going to be a real opportunity for Own to actually get to go out and really put down a hot round. Last pick, give me Katrina Allen at the 5X.
Ooh.
I don't even know if this is the this has nothing to do with course. It has not. I mean, it is just purely the fact that Katrina
underpriced.
Allen, that except for her 34th at Waco, 8th at Open at Austin, 9th at Music City Open, that is 5 points. That is a win. And at 5X, like Katrina has been playing well enough that she is a great gamble at just about any tournament until we redo the rankings.
Yeah. I like it. I'm taking Holland and Own as well. I don't really feel like I need to elaborate much. Own, after Music City Open, said her arms are feeling good again. Mm-hmm. So like not dealing with the injury stuff, which was like the only reason I had question marks at all. This feels like the kind of course where she's going to cook. I mean, she could win.
She could win. She could absolutely win.
And I'm taking Missy Gannon.
Oh, nice. You think this is the time?
I just think she's back. And like, this is exactly the kind of course where she's going to play well.
Yeah. Is there enough money on the line to matter?
Definitely not. But I don't need her to win. I mean, sure. I just think that like, these are simple picks, folks. I'm taking the best players. The Europeans are gone. Yeah. It's like not that many players who can like feasibly beat them over 3 rounds. Mm-hmm. So that's my picks. Hall and Own Missy. You can make your picks at discgolf.ultiworld.com/upshot-picks. And that is going to do it for this show this week. We'll be back with our subscribers live in the Discord on Thursday following the match play to break that all down. And then again on Sunday evening with our rapid reacts. Josh will have to connect about Easter dinner and timing and whatnot. Yeah. But I am not flying home until Monday because tickets were like $600 to fly back on Sunday night. Yep. So I'm chilling and we will find a time. Sound good?
Sounds good. Sounds good to me.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you for your mail. Always appreciate hearing from you. And looking forward to a new event on tour. I think this will become the permanent stop in Kansas. I don't think we're going back to Emporia. What do you think?
That's wow. That if you're an Emporia fan or I don't know, purchaser of Champions Landing, that's that would probably be hard to hear. I think you might be right. I don't know. I think that Emporia, especially, you know, with the property being owned by Disc Golf now, they're going to put a lot of work into it, and I'd be surprised if the Disc Golf Pro Tour doesn't go back at least sometimes.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes this weekend.
Yeah, that's a big thing. We got to see it first.
All right, everybody. We'll talk to you Thursday and Sunday right here on the Upshot.